Alrighty. Let's see, this should work all right. This is a test. I don't know how well this will work, guys. All right, let's go. Hello, how you doing?
Don't growl.
There's a few out. It's actually nesting season for some of the birds of prey. So there's a couple hawk nests up in the Redwood Grove. I don't know if you guys have ever hiked up that way, but there's some amazing trails up there and some things, yeah.
What's your dog's name?
This is Buddy. He's a bit shy.
Buddy.
Don't mind him. Yeah.
He's such a dingo?
Yes, he is very much a dingo.
Oh my gosh.
He's perfect.
Is he, do you know what, I mean, obviously he's healer, but you know what else?
No, I'm pretty sure he's relatively pure, but this I kind of adopted him from my brother, so I don't know exactly kind of his origin story or anything.
Weird lady. Don't
But
be weird.
Buddy, come on, hey, get out of there.
I used to have a cattle dog, so she's all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're a fun breed, aren't they?
They had a love-hate relationship. She's like, immediately whenever she sees one, she's like, all right, this is my food.
Past trauma. Oh, Buddy, you're bringing.
Hi.
Yeah, good boy.
I saw a young golden eagle about 3 weeks ago.
Buddy.
Right over just past Rio Road, across the bridge, where you know, the red farmhouses are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The old Adello artichoke estate. I had seen one there years and years ago, but it was just sitting like gawky. I mean,
Wow.
yeah. Cool.
Traditionally, there's been this one nest that up, if you, you know that dead redwood tree that's up there that you can kind of see? So kind of up Terrace Trail, there's this nice bench and it overlooks a bit of the valley. And there's this big dead redwood tree that I call the mother deadwood because I assume it's kind of like the origin tree that kind of propagated the rest of the redwoods. At least that's what I like to think happened.
That sounds good.
And there's oftentimes a nest right down near the base in the thicker trees. And I'm hoping, I haven't had this lens for nesting season yet, so I'm hoping that I can maybe get something with it. Some of the babies. Yeah.
That's exciting.
But we'll see.
Very exciting.
Well, enjoy your...
Companion.
Yeah, oh, he's great. He could out hike me any day of the week, you know?
So wonderful.
Yeah.
What a perfect body type.
Yeah,
It's like
perfect
just for
size.
longevity and
Yeah, he's a pretty hardy guy.
how old?
8.5, almost 9.
Wow.
And he's still running around like a puppy, so...
Yeah, she's 11.
Oh, what a beautiful one. Well, enjoy the sunshine. We finally have a nice day out here. You guys
man.
came out on the right day.
Seriously.
We were.
It's
desperate.
brutal and it sounds bad.
Is it?
It's
Don't
been
go
rough.
there.
That's always...
Like you ask somebody, how are you? And they're like, how's it going? And I'm like, oh, it's going.
It's going. Man, well, the secret is getting out about Carmel Valley, but
Exactly.
you know, it's still like, you want some sunshine, you can come out here and almost guaranteed most of the time. At least now it's summer, so.
Every day we try.
Yeah, for sure. Enjoy, have a good one. That was nice. Always nice to chat with friendly people. I always wonder, like, especially now that I have literally a camera like right here, and then I have this, I always wonder what people will think. But it's just, most people these days are used to seeing cameras around, at least I assume. Well, welcome in, everyone. I think this might work all right. My only hope is that I don't accidentally have the GoPro malfunction, because I'm not running an internal battery. I only have it plugged into a battery bank that's on my back. So we'll see. We'll see if it works. But I'm kind of half expecting for it to have some sort of glitch where the cable just wiggles too much. The cable is really a bit stressed because it's coming out straight out the back of the media mod and kind of into my chest, and then it's having to bend pretty aggressively. Not like I would say crazy though. Let me see. No, I can't really tilt it back. I ordered a 90-degree adapter that will fix this issue, and it should be here in the next couple days because it was Amazon Prime, so we'll see. I'm mostly, it's kind of has to be tilted down a little more. I was wanting to kind of tilt it up a teeny bit more, but I think it's pretty level. And I'm rocking Hyperview, so this is like a 12mm equivalent. Crops in a bit, I'm sure, with the stabilization, but yeah, it should be all right. We're gonna see if we can find some stuff to shoot today. And yeah, I don't know. The last video, this is the second time I'll be hiking this in the last, I think, week, because the first video just was not good. It was on my backpack, on the shoulder strap, and because of that, it was kind of leaning to that direction of that shoulder. It was kind of pushing it out, and you'll see in a bit, but this trail, like, you want to be able to see, especially off to the right when we're hiking up, because it goes along the ridge a bit, and the view is off to the right, and then off to the left is just the mountain. And I'm doing Hyperview, which requires me to do 5.3K, which I'm a bit worried. I'm doing 5.3K, 30 frames per second. And so if it all craps out, then I'll just have to do it again. I'll tell you what, like, as far as like having to do a reshoot, this one isn't too bad. Oh, darn, you mean I have to go out on a hike again? Man, I'll take you guys up that trail some other day. That's a gnarly one. We're going up what I like to call the easy trail. We're going up the beginner trail. My legs and joints still are not used to the hiking yet. But after the last session, my hips felt so good, guys. They felt so good. And I want that. I want to keep that. Also, when I went out the other day and tried to film, there were a lot of people. It was a Sunday or a Saturday. Today is a weekday, so far less people, especially when we get up into the hills. This is the main trail, so we will probably see people. Oh, yep, there's someone right there. Hello. He was vibing. Oh, actually, that reminds me, I brought headphones. Let me kick on some music. Let me get some good vibes flowing. Unlock, please. Whenever I connect my shocks to the computer and then try and reconnect it to my phone, it can be a little odd. There we go. Hey, no. I say that and then it works. Okay, let's go. The midnight radio. Guys, this is what's up. Let's start with one of my more fun ones. Dude, these are not in my playlist. What in the world? It's all right. I like to start with this one. This is one of their newer ones, guys. Brooklyn Friday Love. Oh. Oh. It's a good one. It's a good one. I've been starting out my my streams with them. They're very friendly towards streamers, which is really, I think, one of the reasons I found them. They're a go-to for a lot of Twitch streamers. Tell you what, if you wanna be known, if you want your art to get out there, you know, don't try and hold it to the chest unless people pay you a pretty penny all the time. Yes, you want to be able to make enough to survive, you know, but I'll tell you what, the Midnight, they have a whole huge like group within Twitch of just super fans. And I'm sure even beyond that, because they have generally pretty good ethics as a group from what I've looked into, which I haven't looked into too much. So if that's not true, I don't know enough about it, but from what I've seen, it's pretty cool. I really enjoy the tunes. Okay, I wonder how. Yeah, it's already starting to get warm. See, this is the worry. I've changed a couple factors with this, and as most scientists would know, you want to limit the variable changes. You only want to change one at a time. So, oh, this is a good spot. Hi, how's it going?
Good.
Hello, pup. Come on, buddy. The one thing with Buddy, he can be a bit intimidating to some people on the trail because he's a very expressive dog. He makes a lot of noises. He has a lot of different facial expressions, and he'll raise his hackles whether he's excited, interested, confused, or angry. It can be a bit. Good boy. Oh, hello. Hold off a second. Let her get up ahead a bit more. We are taking our time today, and that is okay. We'll probably speed up when we hit the main trail, but as I was saying, Buddy's like a super expressive breed, and it can be, if people aren't used to dingoes, aka Australian cattle dogs, it can be a bit off-putting. But he's just loud. He's loud, he's expressive, he's voiceful. But people who know, they know. Like that lady at the beach, the little river beach back there, she just knew. She's like, oh, he's such a dingo. I was like, yes, you understand. They are, I mean, most breeds are very unique, aren't they? But he's a good one. I love that he's a dog that has the physical ability to do what I like to do. And now that I can do it, literally has been waiting for the day that my joints can handle getting out and doing enough activity to actually make him tired. But it's super good. Like I was saying on the last video, and that I am now reshooting. But Buddy is in very good shape right now. And I've been really working on his weight, because he was a bit heavy a couple years back, but now he is on point, and I've really nailed down his nutrition. And he's just, I'm just so excited, because he's an older, I mean, he's getting up almost 9 years old. He'll be 9, I don't know, probably by near the end of the year. I think he was born near the end of the year. But I mean, for 8 years old, it's pretty impressive, and I hope to keep him that healthy. I think I was also talking about the camera a bit. Yeah, I'm rocking 5.3K, so that'll be interesting. I'm hoping that even though I'm gonna downscale it to 4K, it might make it a better picture. I'm also doing 30 frames because I don't trust that this thing won't overheat. My hope is that because I don't have the internal battery in it, which was really the thing that generated the heat, that it'll be good. As long as something weird doesn't happen and it shuts it off. See, the thing is with this setup, if it loses a bit of battery power, it'll just turn off and probably won't even save the file that's recording currently. So I might get the, you know, the clip, they split it up, right? Like every 12.5 minutes, at least with the previous setting I had, they'll split the file. So I might not lose everything, but I'll lose a significant portion potentially. Yep, still on, that's good. I really want this to work because I've just been having so much fun, at least on the bike with the GoPro. And if I could get it to a similar thing with this, yes, please. I probably should have checked record time. I'm assuming it's probably around the same amount of record time as the 4K 60 to do 5K 30. Fingers crossed. It's because 4K 60 gets you about, at least on this 256 card, it'll get me like 3 hours and 50 minutes or so. So this might be a test to see if I upgrade to a 512. So if I do a bunch of like random camera test checks and things, you'll know why. But if I can make it through this hike without an overheat, it's a win, because last time it was about this heat, about this temperature, but it did overheat. It made it pretty far. Like, it made it pretty far. It made it about almost half of the hike before it fully like did its first overheat. But it was actually perfectly timed, because we had, me and my buddy who I was hiking with, we had just sat down at the exact moment that it overheated. So I was like, oh, perfect. We'll just hang out here for like 5 minutes. Because at least the GoPro does cool down very quick if you take the battery out of the tray. I'm also gonna stop. Yeah, my heart rate's high. I'm gonna stop at the base of this trail coming up as well, before we head up Garzus, and take this sweater off. I was a little chilled when I first went out because I did a bike ride earlier on Zwift and also live streamed it. Hashtag follow me please. Twitch.tv/PookieButt, POOKIEBUTT. Apparently I can chat way too much, even with a high heart rate, so it's entertaining. Like today, I think I hit 188 beats per minute and I was talking to people. It's nuts. It is not a good skill. It is not a good skill, guys. I'm telling you. Being able to talk at a high heart rate, I do not recommend it. very direct, contrasty light right now, so we will need a very dominant subject. And you're gonna see if he'll let me. Buddy is usually really good at letting me take pictures of him. He'll pose for me. He doesn't necessarily like to, sometimes he does. Sometimes he's like, ugh, you can tell he's annoyed. And he won't like stay as long, he won't pose as long. Oh, you okay, buddy? He got something in his paw. I think this is gonna be good. I also was recently screwing around with my next YouTube video that I spent all last night uploading it. It took about, well, I don't know exactly how long because I did it while I was sleeping, but I was 2 hours in and it got about 28%. So you can do the extrapolation from there. And then when I woke up this morning, it was done. And now, well, at least when I first was up, I was able to get the processing going on YouTube, but it's going to take another 18 hours to do the 4K version. So all around, it's over 24 hours, more closely associated with 36 hours to get my YouTube video up onto YouTube. At least if it's going to be a 3-hour video. The last few videos have been 3-hour plus, which is nice. I've been enjoying it. I have been shooting in a flat profile because of the 10-bit color, and it doesn't really, like, I will say it's not the, like, it says it's 10-bit color, it pushes around okay. I was expecting a little more, but if you just add a bit of post brightness and contrast, I need to compare it to just like the vibrant. But I don't usually like to add saturation. Even in the flat profile, I only like to add a teeny bit of saturation. But man, if you tune the brightness and contrast, you just get this rich color. Especially if I have this set to negative 0.5 exposure value right now, which means it'll tend a half a stop on the darker side. But it makes a huge difference. I mean, it looked really good. I was very happy with the results, and it only took about 5 minutes to push the brightness and or less than 5 minutes to push brightness and contrast. Originally, I tried to tune it from the low and the high end, but it didn't work too well. Brightness and contrast was the way. When I was trying to tune the shadows by themselves, they just clipped. And then I would get to these dark or these contrasty areas and you just get these black blobs. Couldn't see anything. But douche, the dynamic range, very impressive. And to still maintain the richness in the darks, because sometimes with the HDRs and small sensors, things just look very, I don't know, they lose so much local contrast. And then it just kind of almost looks glowy. You've all seen you've all seen that type of HDR photo that's just like that overcooked look. Maybe you haven't, and if you haven't, I bet if you looked, like you did a quick Google search, you'd be like, oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. Perfect, here we are, guys. This is the base of the canyon trail. Oh, what am my brain just, I said it earlier. Garza's Canyon. All right, now let's see if I can do this without causing my GoPro to unplug. Because I'm tethered in. So it's gonna have to be very carefully done. See that? There we go. Now don't move, don't breathe, think happy thoughts. There we go. This is the GoPro bag. I originally got it because it was free actually. Well, free. I had to buy it, or it came free with a purchase, so it wasn't free. But I was very excited about it at first because of this, only to find out that it truly shifts the camera angle a little odd. Maybe if I mess with camera settings a bit more. I don't know. Much better. We still on? Yes, still blinking. We still have red blinky lights. That's a good sign. All right. Now we go up and up and up. And yes, if you remember me saying earlier, this is the easy trail. This is the beginner trail. We'll start with this one because I'm still very, very weak. What I really feel is it's the impact. My tendons and ligaments just are not used to impact right now. I'm relying on the hyperview. It looks like, oh, it's so weird. It looks like the camera's tilting down. I hope it's not. Especially now that I'm walking uphill and kind of leaning forward. I'm like trying to like really keep my hips under me so that the camera stays straight. This will be very good for my climbing form, in all honesty. It'll force me to keep my hips under me. Yeah, my heart rate is stacked. I did about an hour and a half of riding today, which is about normal. But there was a special event today. It's a semi-regular one. It's hosted on Zwift by BC Bike Race, BCBR. And I wanted to unlock their kit today, so I wanted to do one of their gravel races on Zwift. And I told myself I wasn't gonna race. And well, I don't know if anyone else here does Zwift. You are probably sitting there going, were there other people? Was there a finish line? Then you're racing. Was there at least one other person? And is there a place that you finish? Okay, you're racing. Even if it's a group ride, hashtag not a race. Hashtag Zwift group ride. But so there were 3 climbs of about 5 minutes. 3 by 5 minute climbs. And I decided to push the pace on the first one. Because there were a couple people pushing. So I kind of counterattacked them, and then they didn't follow, which I found was odd. Then when I looked back at the numbers, a lot of people were just cruising. And I was like, oh. And then I was up with this French dude who, he had this disconnect and vanished. And I was really sad because we were riding together, at least getting some draft. And I was like, no, I'm here alone. Then all of a sudden, about 10 seconds later, he pops in at about 15 seconds back. It's like, oh, he must have had a major like internet disconnect or something. So I was like, oh, I'll wait for you. He blasts past me at 9.5 watts per kilo after I wait for him to catch back up. What in the world? It was funny. But he was not on Zwift power. And so who knows? But someone in my chat today said that they've seen him before, and he wrecks he's an A+ rider, basically. At least the numbers he puts out online are A+ numbers. And because someone was saying that he gives some of the faster people in our community a run for their money. So me being a low A category racer, have no chance against A+s. Not really, not ever. But I ended up doing 5.2 watt per kilo for 5 minutes on on 2 of the 3 climbs. The first climb was about 4.8 to 5. Then the next 2 were around 5.2 for those 5-minute intervals. And it just wrecked me. It just wrecked me. He attacked me on the final kicker after just putting down 7 watt per kilo kicks over and over and over again. And then finally I just couldn't do it. That was just way too much for me. But he didn't actually get in the race results, so I got a gold. I got a gold in a group ride, guys. Don't you feel proud of me? Don't you feel proud of me? We'll take the little victories, right? I am a freshly new A rider. That was actually my first A category event since getting upgraded. This is actually, it's actually really cool. We'll talk about this. Why not? This is, I can talk about whatever the heck I want. This is my channel. But it was actually a very emotional moment when I finally got into A category. And so there's a little backstory. Anybody who's hung out on my stream, or if you've watched my trailer video for YouTube or Twitch, you'll kind of get a little bit of backstory. I have a genetic condition that screws with my joints, and a good little expression I use is that I'm allergic to gravity. In the last 12 years, I've shrunk like 2 inches in my spine from my issues. It's actually funny. The reason I know that, oh, I just stepped on you. I'm sorry. Oh, I hope I didn't kill him. He ran right under my foot. Oh. Well, that's sad. That was a bit of a distraction. Back on track, happy thoughts. But yeah, so I've had some really significant surgeries since 2020, or early 2019, beginning of 2020. And they've led to, yeah, me basically having to rebuild my fitness from zero multiple times. And the most recent surgery, I have one more I need to plan to be like, to really get myself fixed up. My right knee still needs a lot of work, but what is it? End of 2021? Yeah, end of 2021 in October, I got my hips replaced, but literally the final event I did on Zwift before my surgery put me in A, and I never got to race it. So I never got to live in the A, I just got to be there. I just got to show up. Oh, someone must be doing some work up here. The local park service does such an amazing job on these trails. Like, there's very regularly things that happen, like a boulder will fall and take out half the trail. I'll actually show you some spots up ahead where that happened. Or a tree will come down, and I swear to God they have it fixed within days, no matter what, even up in the middle of nowhere, like an insane distance away. Wow, look at how beautiful it is. This is a heck of a climb, guys. We're up about 20% plus, I think, especially right here. This is definitely 20% plus. All right, hopefully camera does not feel too hot, but we just started. I'm hoping the media mod doesn't create too much insulation, because I have been loving, because of, I've been loving the raw audio. It'll produce WAV files for you if you turn on raw audio. And especially when you're out on a bike ride and there's a lot of wind noise, there's a lot of things, having the raw WAV file is insane. You plug in that audio to some of the noise suppression softwares out there, and it's like another level. And that's really where the benefit comes from using the raw audio is like when you need to do some pretty heavy reduction to wind noise and do like vocal dialogue work and stuff like that. That's when the wave file's good. I don't think for everyone it's necessary, but I love it. People are like, oh, it'll take more time to process. No, not really. It's pretty good right out of the box. Especially with some of the new AI features that are available to us. All right, so on some of our video editing softwares. So this continues down Garza's Canyon into the creek. We're gonna come back up this way. This is the beginning of the loop. So we're heading this way. This is Terrace. Terrace takes us up to the mother deadwood tree. Mother deadwood, you heard me talking about it earlier. If you've been hanging out this whole time with those two ladies that were on the beach, I was like, yeah, it's just a name for it. But it's really the progenitor tree of the whole redwood grove. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. It's the oldest one, and it's still there. You'll see. It is one of the iconic spots for me. But they seem like they're not Carmel Valley local, but Monterey to Carmel local, because they're local enough that they understand that this is where you come to get away from the fog, especially during the summertime. This is one of the greatest stretches of the trail. Look at these. Look at the wildflowers right now. Oh, butterfly. Hold on. Let's see if it lands. I don't know if it's gonna land. Oh gosh, just as I was gonna shoot. Hold on, let's see if we can get it to land again. And I can get my act together. Land, there it is. No. God, these telephoto lenses. What even are my camera settings right now? Oh, I'm in crop mode. Let's not be in crop mode. And now I've completely lost where the butterfly is. Well, that's what I get for not having the proper camera settings. I'm not in my run and gun mode. ISO 800, there we go. Or I mean shutter 800. There we go. All right, we'll get him next time. Oop, there's some people. Let's wait for him.
You need some good pictures, huh?
Hopefully, not yet. Just got going.
Right up here, just 50 yards, just going down those steps. You look up. Oh, it's nice here, but you wait until you get around there, you're gonna go nuts.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Your camera will probably just go crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
Pretty heavy-duty camera.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Thank you. It's great for out here.
Just around that corner, you're gonna go, my God, and your dog's gonna go, come on, can we just hike?
I'll have to go check it out. Yeah, you too, enjoy. Yes, he's totally right. There's a spot around here. Actually, I shot Chris over here the other day with FizzGig, but I'm not fully into portraiture yet. And FizzGig was just a little in front of him and it was out of focus. But this is where look at the flowers. Look at this, guys. Let's see if there's anything interesting I can do with this. There we go. There are just a lot of colors right now. Stay. 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 Good boy. See, he'll pose for me. I gotta make him do it, but he will. He knows. He knows what's up. Look at this. Look at this. This is this beautiful stretch of trail. This little S-bend back is just spectacular. Oh, good, some wind. Every time I stop, I'm like, oh, is my camera gonna just like poop out? There, look at these little blue butterflies everywhere. What a gorgeous area. I wish you guys could experience the smells as well, the freshness, the sweetness of some of the flowers. It is amazing. Oh, hello, little guy. I don't want to step on you. I stepped on your cousin. But it wasn't my fault. It was his fault. Oh, I already feel so much better than the last time I went up on this hike. What's nice is that I feel just the extra rigidity in the joints compared to last time. What was very nice is that I was actually sore as well. I gotta do a really insane ride to get like properly sore. Ooh, yes, cool my camera. Cool me. Ooh, that is an ocean breeze. Oh, yes, please, and thank you. But I was so sore from the last hike. My hamstrings, oh, the tendons in my hamstrings that were like just where they run into the back of the knee. Oh man, it was that, I was talking about this on stream. It was one of those like good pains. The pains where you're like, yes, I did this to myself. It's not like an injury pain or a negative pain. It's a plus, it's a positive pain. A lot of you, look at that. It's a pretty steep drop back down here. This is just so fun. This is just a nice trail because a lot of the other trails just basically go right up the ridge. This one traces through the Garza's Canyon, and so you get a lot more rollingness as you go up. But some of the other trails like Saddle, Laurelis, Veeder, there's a bunch of them. And I'll take you guys on all of them eventually because they are so amazing. Like, yes, they're hard, but give me a couple weeks. Give me another 3 or 4 hikes and I'll be ready to go for that. But you guys will be amazed. But those trails, it's like, they'll average like 10+%. Oh, I hope, oh, Hyperview, please save me. It looks like it's tilting down a little. I can't tilt it up anymore. My thought was to run the camera upside down to try and free the cable up a bit, but I'm just gonna wait for the 90-degree elbow adapter I have coming. It was only like 10 bucks for like 2 or 3 of them. Then it won't restrict anything at that point. I'll be able to basically hug the cable not only tight to the camera, but I'll be able to run a Velcro strap around it to keep it in place. I'll probably tape the adapter to the cable and just say that's my GoPro cable for when I'm hiking or walking. I think that's the plan. But I've been trying to learn as much as I can about this camera. It's the best thing to do. It's a shame. Well, no, it's not a shame. That's definitely not the right word. What's really cool is that there's a lot of settings that you can do that literally just point and shoot. And it allows anyone to unlock at least decent footage. Throw in a little tune though, And who knows, we might get something good. I have a friend that is also a streamer, Twitch TV / Zavarise, Zavarise. And we've been, oh, was that a horny? Oh no, I thought that was a horny toad. But we've been messaging back and forth trying to get the perfect camera stuff. And he found a circular polarizer. And I think that is the ultimate GoPro lens attachment. I got the, I got some ND filters, and yes, I feel like I will use them for certain situations, but for these like hikes and for the bike rides, the ND filters just kind of take a little too much out of the stabilization, and it makes the image soft. Oh, the camera's, is the camera still on? Yes, it's not even barely hot. This is it. Did we discover the way? I sure hope so. But the circular polarizer, I think, is going to be the way. Polarizers, especially if you're not looking to do much color correction, just give you amazing colors. It just gives you amazing colors. And lenses for the GoPro are only like 20 bucks or less, unless you're going for like the GoPro Max or the Max mod, which is like 90. But then there's third-party ones from like Tiffin or Telson or whatever that are only like 40 bucks, and I'm sure those ones are pretty good too. I have a Tiffin filter, and for a adjustable ND, a variable ND, because it was very affordable, because I needed it for projects, and it's just amazing. Definitely not up to the standards of like some of the other ones. But that being said, I've seen some of the top level Polar Pro filters for like these have just the worst issues. And I've seen them be very fragile. And it's like, for the price of a single filter, getting like a filter kit of like 4 or 5 filters is like over $1,000. Like, yeah, I'll stick to my Tiffin for now. Of course, I say that because I just don't want to shell out the money, but in all reality, I'm just salty because I don't have them. But at least I'm honest. I'm always honest. Ooh, a little bit of downhill and a tailwind. Geez, we're flying. Ever since I got my hips fixed, my knees don't hurt as much, my ankles don't hurt as much, and my hips don't hurt as much. It's so good. Modern technology. I'm definitely not looking to get knee replacements because the reviews are not as good, but a nice anterior approached hip replacement is overpowered. It's absolutely overpowered. Absolutely. It was an upgrade over real hips. Because these ones have a replaceable sleeve if I do damage them. Just a quick little snip and a swippy swappy, and my prosthetics are brand new again. That's the best thing about the most recent ones, is that they are made to be replaced and updated. The current system I have right now is still very, very new, to the point where people don't even know the longevity of them, because nobody's worn one out yet. And they're over 20 years into this current generation, I believe. Little bug in the road. Get it out of the road. It was not alive. There's a stink bug. Wow, this trail is so wild right now. They'll probably come through here in the next couple days and trim this type of stuff. Oh wait, oh yeah, so back to the GoPro. One of the cool things I learned is like how the auto boost works. And I actually saw it in action before I knew what was happening. Because what happened was, on my bike, it's really interesting. You can really see the stabilization in action. Look at that thing go. And really kind of get a visual representation of what it's doing inside the system. So what happens is you'll be watching your GoPro, and if you hit a heavy bumpy section with auto boost, you'll see it slowly crop in a little bit, just very slowly, in order to provide more stabilization. And it's so subtle. But what I noticed is one time I was watching and there was this bumpy section, and then we hit this slow roller that was smooth, and then you saw it slowly back out, and you could all of a sudden see my aero bars, you could see my brake levers, and it was so subtle. Like it was not disorienting at all. Very, very cool. I wish this little flower was in the light right here. Look at this. I'm gonna take a picture of it anyway. Why does it keep going into crop mode? I keep hitting crop mode. Oh, I don't have to be in. That's probably too much. I don't even think about ISO anymore. That's so nice. I was talking earlier about some of the AI features that have been added into image and video manipulating softwares, and it's just insane. Lightroom recently introduced an AI noise reduction, and it is now out of beta, and it is absolutely unbelievable. It is so much better than any other manual noise reduction using smoothing and all that. And then adding sharpness back in. No, this just, it takes noise away from only certain types of things and maintains detail and even refreshes color, because that's one of the biggest problems with shooting high ISO, is that you lower your dynamic range and your color fidelity when you do that. Well, you throw it into this new AI and it's insane. Colors you didn't even realize were missing, and then you're like, whoa, didn't even realize that was green. It looked brown, but it should have been green. It's not like it just made something green that wasn't supposed to be. It's like it actually gave it its green back. Oop. Oh, and I need to switch my C1 and C2, because if I accidentally hit C2, it's okay, because that's my focus area, my focus mode, see? But 1 is my crop mode, because I do videography, and so I utilize the crop mode on a regular basis. And so I put it on my C1. I think it needs to be C2 though. And then focus mode, C1. Guys, if you don't set custom features in your camera, you're missing out on some very powerful things, especially with proper mirrorless cameras. Like, that's really where the power, that's what makes these, quote, professional. It's not that it takes necessarily better photos, it does, but it's more that it's a Swiss Army knife, in that you can quickly adapt certain features, and you can put those buttons right at your fingertip, so that under variable situations, under adverse or changing conditions, you're able to do things quicker, more fluid, without going through menus and things. And it's a very, that's when I hear professional, like when people say pro, That's what I kind of think of. I'm like, it's not that it's a super, like, yes, it might be a better image than say like, this is better image than this, but it's more so that with this, I have those different focus modes. I have these different light options. And that's really where it lies. I think the term pro can be kind of thrown around a bit. I've got some sweat drops on here. I need to give this thing a little bit of a bath. I usually give it a camera bath every couple months, or if it really needs it, just some alcohol, some Q-tips, and all that. Ooh, I need to get to the mother deadwood tree. I gotta pee. Oh, you see that? Alligator lizards. I think they were doing the dirty. Sorry guys, didn't mean to interrupt. So, nerd fact, those alligator lizards actually aren't actually lizards, like true lizards. Oh, there's another one. Wow, they're everywhere. They're a skink. We do have we do have 2 or 3, I want to say 3 native true lizard species. But most of the time you're going to see a skink. A lizard is a kind of generalized term, isn't it? Yes. I got to show you guys my pee spot. It's actually pretty incredible. I am a weird in that a bathroom with a view is kind of cool. I love a bathroom with a view. Here we go, guys. Mother Deadwood. Oh, yeah. So here we have the crossing for the Redwood Loop. They call this East Ridge. East Ridge is actually just about 10, 15 yards past where you can see, goes up the ridge. But if you go to the right, you do the Redwood Loop, which is Garza's Canyon. All right, so sorry guys, I'm going to have to, well, no, I'll show you first, but then I'm gonna have to put you on a BRB screen. This is my bathroom stop. Not bad, right? All right. Now please, no looking. And welcome back. Please remember to edit this. This is the water stop right here for the doggo and for me, of course. So let's see if I can. It's still on. No way. Let's see if I can do this. The cable's pretty decent. This might be our only stop. I'm not sure how long we got on the camera. Oh, we still have oh God, we have 3 hours. I have just as much record time in this setting. Okay, never mind. Well, we might stop one more time and enjoy the scenery. Never mind. I was a little worried because it's a new mode. And I was worried it would take up more space. So I bring me a bottle with some nutrition in it, and then I bring him a bottle, just pure water for the puppy dog. Let's rinse this out a little bit. And then here you go. Hold on, back up. There you go, get a drink. What a cutie. Good boy. And then he usually hates me because I dump the leftover all over him so he can cool off a bit. I hope you guys are enjoying this. This might actually be more enjoyable than some of my bike rides, if I'm honest. At least for viewing. For me, they're both amazing. I just like that I can do both. I used to, like, guys, like, especially after about 2018, my hips were so bad, I couldn't do anything. I had, like, my last hurrah up Mount Elbrus in Russia, and that was about it. Good boy. How you doing? Do you want to get a drink? You want to finish your water? Are you good? You good? He's like, bro, I'm not even tired. Do you want any more? All right. There you go. Good boy. Woo! Oh, man. He loves it. I tell you what, he loves it so much. He loves it when I do that. Slap this bad boy back on here. It'd be nice if they had some molly straps. I'm surprised they don't have mollies on here. Okay, please don't. So I'm trying to make this so that I don't pull the cable out because I have it nicely attached, so we'll see. Back over the head. There we go. Good afternoon. All right, and onward. And onward. Oh, nice. Camera's a little warm. It's not hot though. If this solves my problem, I am officially a GoPro fan. I mean, I don't dislike them. Not at all, but this will sell me. This will sell me. Look at this. Look at these flowers right here. Beautiful. Man, this is making me so excited to film more of these. I've been in a bit of a bad headspace, and I think it's just I have not been sleeping well, and it's really messing with my mental right now. I just wake up feeling so groggy, and it just messes with me. Luckily, I've been able to stay on routine because I know that, for example, I ride every morning at 9:30, at least Monday through Thursday, and then maybe an extra day randomly at a random time. But Monday through Thursday, 9:30 to 11:30, I'm pretty good on that. And that really, it's nice. It can help balance the mind. This branch is slowly dropping more and more and more. Like, you did not have to duck under this a week ago, and you nearly have to. Don't kill me. Falling things, rocks, usually, but I mean, sure, halves of trees, parts of trees also counts as one of the, that's the killer on trails. That's the killer. And actually we're coming up right here. Look at this. This was a huge boulder. Came down from up there, took this out, took half the trail out, and I'll take a picture because it's way down there. I'll take a picture and I'll put this up on the video so you can see. It is just a massive boulder. Hold on, I need a manual. So you can see this rock. There we go, all right. Back to autofocus. See, that's like what I'm talking about. That's like a very good example of why professional gear is professional. I have a switch right here if I need to quickly go into manual focus, and then boom. And then shibuya. No looking at a screen. No having to take your eye away from the eyepiece, no having to tap this and go to this menu to do that. Flip of a switch. Flip of a switch. Complete muscle memory. Like, if you have these 4 dials memorized, oh geez, it's just a squirrel. Did that squirrel scare you? Kind of startled me, I'm not gonna lie. That was a loud squirrel. He loves the squirrels. He loves the squirrels, he loves the kitties. Got to be careful of saying that around him. That's one of his trigger words. It's been a while since we've done a lot of the enforcement training. Buddy used to be he's very good at listening, but he used to be instant command, instant healing, instant, I mean, you can call him off of a dead sprint, which is very nice. But you used to be able to, like, what we would do to practice is back when my brother he used to work on boats a lot, and so he was around a marina up in Stockton very regularly, and so there were a bunch of geese, a bunch of waterfowl, all sorts of things, and Buddy just loves chasing them. And you could call him off of a dead sprint after a goose. And so that was basically his enforcement training growing up, was being able to call him off immediately, because he also understands like, he has an attack command, and he doesn't really get it anymore. Like, he kind of gets it, but he basically, you could sick him on someone and then call him off during the attack. Which actually has come in handy. I hate to say, but it's actually come in handy one time before. I wasn't there, but my brother told me the story. He took his old truck out to a Home Depot, and Buddy was left in the cab, and my brother accidentally left his corded skill saw in the bed of the truck when he went into Home Depot. Well, Buddy was in the car, and just as my brother came out of Home Depot, he was about, I don't know, he was a good distance, a parking lot distance away, but he could see his truck, and he saw a guy walk up, grab the saw, and then just start walking away. And now Buddy probably saw this right up close, because he's very aware. He's a very aware dog. And so if somebody comes up to a vehicle that he's in, like, he was very much probably, like, not okay with that to begin with. Like, hey, what's going on? Like, I don't know you, kind of thing. He would not I really don't think he would ever actually bite unless you told him to. But he would definitely be very, very worried and anxious. But so that was a bit of context, because my brother then, by the time he gets to the truck, the guy basically has started walking away, and he sees this, and then he looks back, sees my brother there. Well, my brother opens the door and gives my dog the attack, or our dog, the attack command. And because Buddy saw that guy came up, he knew exactly what to do. He knew what was going on. And he just sprinted right after this guy. This guy went into a dead sprint himself, dropped the miter, or not the miter saw, the skill saw, and just sprinted. And then he was able to be called off immediately. It's just like, it's like one of those things you want to know how to do so that you never have to do it. You know? Does that make sense? I don't know, maybe it doesn't, but it does to me. Oh, that's a cool, there was like a spider web on that tree. So here we are, guys. This is the secret redwood forest. Not many people know about this, guys. So don't tell anyone. But this is a very interesting little redwood forest. Guys, redwoods are magic. They absorb all the ambient noise because their bark, here, look. Their bark is just very, see how it's squishy and like fibrous like that? It's literally like sound deadening foam. And you can kind of experience it here, but if you go somewhere like up north along the Eel River in California, where the Avenue of the Giants is, it is wild. You could have somebody just down the trail, like where those trees are, that's about 30 feet away, maybe. And that they could be having a conversation with someone else and I wouldn't be able to hear it from here. They just absorb everything. So if you're in the midst of it, if you're just deep in it, it's just this heavy quiet. I kind of associate with similar to like how one of those 0 decibel rooms or negative decibel rooms that they create. I mean, everything's just so quiet right now. And it's because of the trees. But yeah, this is one of those local things. Like people would probably come across it, you know, by chance, because it's not like if you're just moderately fit and you come out here and you hike this trail, you'll find it. But I think it's still pretty secret, because you do need a pretty okay base fitness just to get to it. I mean, it's basically an hour hike with like, let's see, how many feet have we gone? Of course, it's the other way. We've already done 663 feet. So, you know, it's not flat. Hold on, I have an idea. This would be better with a wide angle, but let's see if I can get in here like this. Oh, gotten a little poison oak there. I'll have to remember that. Wow, it's so quiet. I almost feel like I have to whisper. Whoa. Whoa. I'm sure you can hear that. That was a trip. That plane just like all of a sudden was might even be a helicopter. Kind of sounds like a helicopter. So one of the unique things that happens in these slim canyons is that because they have these barriers basically on all sides of you, sounds like from airplanes and things that fly overhead, they come in all at once and leave all at once, because you don't hear them until they cross that ridge, and then you hear them completely. There's no fade in, there's no fade out really. Like there is, but it's so short that it's basically non-existent. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, like crazy. Wow. This is also mountain lion country. I always travel with a defense device of some kind. Can't have firearms. And actually that's probably better, because firearms are great, but as far as self-defense, they're not really the best option. Especially out here. I mean, they can be in certain situations, I'm sure. But in general, most people end up getting shot with their own weapons. But a club, a knife, something like that, just a little more versatile. And I'd rather honestly face a cougar or a mountain lion with a knife than a gun. I probably would not have time to even use the gun, because that's the thing with cougars and mountain lions, is that you don't hear them coming, and if you see them, then you're safe. If you see them, then you're safe. If you don't see them, you're not safe. Because if they allow you to see them, they're not hunting. They're not in hunting mode. Luckily, this is not hunting time. Cougars do attack during the day, but it's less likely. Another thing, learn your area, learn the species, and learn how their habits. But they will be in this area. Now that the water's flowing so well, they'll probably be more up in these canyons as opposed to down closer to the people. There's the little creek. We're almost up to Garza's Creek. This is a little fingerlet flowing in. Actually, this whole little area we walked down for a long while had a little stream flowing down it too. It was the water was up pretty darn high, to the point where you couldn't cross. Back up at that mother deadwood tree, you'd have to go right if you wanted to go into Garza's Canyon. You can't do the redwood loop all the way around, because there's, oh, look at that. Look at the butterflies. They were right here last time we came down here. There's something going on here. I don't want to step on you guys. They're all over my feet. Look at that. That's so cool. And a little bee. No. Okay. All right. Butterflies are safe. That was cool. They were in that exact same spot last time I came here. There's something going on there. And here we go. Look at this, guys. Look at this little spot right here. If I had a wide angle, this is actually a very cool little photo, even without a subject. See this little trail? You can get down right in there and do some stuff and see the river. I photographed here a couple times with some friends. This is such a great little spot. Usually worth a rest spot. But if you guys have seen some of my Strava photos, my most active form of social media is Strava, fitness app. I put up some photos from the last time I hiked here with my buddy Physique. We call him Physique, my homie. Physique, if you're watching this, much love, man. I miss you. Hope you're well. I mean, I hope you're watching this, because look, we were here not, what, a couple months ago, man. And this was all like wild raging torrent. Now it's just peaceful and calm and clear. Look at how fresh this water looks. Oh, hello lizard, sorry. And then this little spot up here, guys. Let's just come up here just for a second. Beautiful. This creek needed a flush very bad. These steps right here are very cool. It was, because it drops like 8 feet right here. It was just it was a torrent. Absolute torrent. But he hates it when I stop. He just wants to keep going. right, guys, here we go. The water crossing. Boop. 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 Got some photos of him. There's a good one, I'll throw it up right now. Of course it's a good one, it's a buddy. Of course it's a good one. That's what I want to do. So I hope I remember to do that. I want to throw up the photos I take for a second so you guys can see them. All right, how warm are we? Yes. Not warm. Warm but not hot. The GoPro is not so hot right now. See this? That's a tick. Just waiting to pounce. Screw you. Come on, buddy. Come through. That's where they get you, guys. That's where they get you, on these little grasses that hang out. They literally just sit there and reach out their hands or their claws, just waiting for you to walk by. That one actually looked like a deer tick as well. I contracted Lyme disease when I was really young, so I hate with a burning passion the tick. I absolutely hate it. It completely changed the course of my life. Probably a major contributing factor to my joint degradation with my condition, because they're known to, oh, little duck, they're known to aggregate, or the Lyme disease, the spirochetes are known to aggregate in the joints, and heavily in the knee joints specifically. So the seasonal crossings technically are not in yet, but it's low enough that you can cross, with just a little bit of rock hopping. But you can see, it honestly just needs to be set out. Not that you don't have plenty of boulders to hop across in reality. Yeah, let's go this way. I'm light, so I don't displace rocks so much, which is very nice. You get crapped on. Oh! Oh, he got a newt! Whoa! Look at the garter snake! It got a newt! Yo! Yo! Oh, wow! Wow! Oh, wow! Hold on, I need to take time on this. Wow, nature is a brutal, brutal thing. Might not focus as, oh, it does. Wow. Well, that's nature for you. Sorry for if that's a little too much for some of you guys. But that's the world. Garter snakes are actually pretty rare to see out. They are a much more skittish species of snake. You'll see gopher snakes all over the place. They're a little more okay with being out and about. Oh, wow. That was a moment of nature caught on camera. Clip it, Chet. Oh wait, you're not here right now. Oh. Wow. Nature is beautiful yet wild, raw. That's real nature. Something to be considerate about, though, is the snakes, because this is the type of environment where you'd see a rattler stretched across this trail. You need to be very aware of that. That's probably the most awareness, other than for like large predatory animals. We have, well, black bear's not really that bad. They're very rare out here, but we do have black bear. You're more likely probably to see a mountain lion than a black bear though. But because there's so much water now, the snakes are gonna be all up and down here. They're gonna be all up and down this stretch, especially now that the newts are out. That is a full-on, I wonder, that's a full-on food source, what I was saying, but I wonder how it got it. I wonder if the newt was crawling on land, or if it dove into the water, or like sniped it out of the water. Oh, interesting. Well, that's gonna be my thumbnail, or something similar to that. I'll probably do a little blur on it, you know, so that we don't have just death. But I'll be like, no, that's not gonna be my thumbnail. My thumbnail is gonna be probably a still that I grabbed from this of me walking through the redwood forest, because the clickbaity title I'm gonna go with is, I found a secret redwood. I found a secret redwood forest. No, I found a secret redwood forest in the middle of the wilderness, or something like that. Because, you know, we gotta hype it up, right? We gotta do the meta. So far we have some stuff. Oh, this is a beautiful day. Yeah, last time I did this, I was far more tired. 255. 255. I also remembered my actual heart rate monitor, so I'm actually getting an accurate heart rate. I think, so I've been having issues with pairing my heart rate monitor to the Zwift. I think it's because it's been conflicting with this, because I unpaired it from my watch today, and it made the heart rate monitor function perfectly fine. Good boy. These are the rocks to be careful on, but those are the rocks you just stay flat-footed. You don't step into them from an angle. Look at that. Going the other way is beautiful too. Buddy. God, that was so funny when he fell in. Get wrecked. Keep wanting to look down and see. Oh, look, more butterflies. Look at all these butterflies. Swooshing right by. If only I could stream this. If I could do this live, that'd be amazing. There is 0 cell service out here for about 75% of it. Let's go. Good boy. And another little kicker. Oh, it's a bit steep. But he's actually pretty funny in the water. He loves water, but he is just a dense dog and he does not float well, but he loves it. Now you can't tell him not to. His favorite thing though is water that's waist high that he can run through. That's his favorite thing ever. And during a lot of the year, the river, the main Carmel Valley River, there are a lot of shallow spots that are perfect for like throwing a ball or a stick and having him being able to run as opposed to swim. I have a bit of an itch. So this is definitely better, by the way. You're actually seeing a forward perspective as opposed to before the video was kind of on this angle, like I was walking sideways and it was just weird. Didn't feel right. I was watching, it felt like I had to turn my head or something. I also upped the maximum ISO range. So the one thing with the Hero 11 is that instead of just maxing at 1600 ISO, it goes up to 3200. And I am worried that it'll add some noise, but we'll see, it might not. Just heard like a whistle. I've turned off my music. I'm just enjoying nature right now. You guys are gonna be listening to some tunes, but we'll keep it nice and ambient. Because you guys want to hear the water, you want to hear the birds, you want to hear this. This is all part of it. Like I said, if only you could like experience the scents, the fresh air, the crispness, the random hits of fragrance from the flowers. Hey buddy, sit, stay. 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 Buddy, stay. No. Stay. Stay. Buddy. Good boy. He wasn't feeling that one. I got one. I'll put it up. That one's okay. That one actually has some the harsh lighting actually looks kind of good. I've been really into very tight shots recently, and I keep having to remind myself to give a little context to my photos, especially when I'm out in areas like this. But tight shots look so good, and I'll always love them. Tight action shots, because a lot of people have photos of them, like, you know, if they're gonna be biking or doing something action-like, usually the photos are pretty wide, they can have perspective. But like, say at a triathlon, if someone's cycling past and you just get a tight shot of them in aero position on their bike, damn, it looks so good. It looks so good. I really enjoy shooting cyclists for that reason. But another thing I like to do is wide angle bike shots, where they're just stretch, like get a tight shot but with a wide angle lens. Oh man. So this is I guess the proper Garza's Canyon. Here, I'll go and show you the trails. So this says to East Ridge and Redwood Canyon down that way. So that's basically a connector, I guess. And then, so this is the Garza's Canyon Trail. I kind of call this all Garza's Canyon Trail because that's where we're at. Yeah, it even says this way. But if you really want to get a hike in, that's the way you go. That's a heck of a hike. Usually you'll do like you'll get dropped off and then you'll hike back through this way and then out this way and then get picked up again, unless you're looking to do 20 miles, because it's really cool. You can start in the proper Garland Park area, which is west of where I am right now, and then you can take the trails and hike the ridge, and then basically the entire ridge line from Carmel Valley, actually past the village, all the way to the ocean. There are trails that will basically take you along the entire ridge line, all the way. It's like 15 plus miles, and we'll do those at some point once we start generating more content, because I want to get into real strong hiking and at least jogging or speed walking shape. I don't know if I'll ever be able to run again, but if I can do this, I can speed walk, I think, and I can do this. Man, I would say my hips are basically healed at this point. Like I do kind of bring up some old injuries sometimes, but overall, man, I think it's just, it's healed. I take a long time to heal. The actual rehab period, they said, is like 3 to 4 months. And then yes, you kind of, I mean, after 3 months, I will honestly tell you I was better than before the surgery. But now I think compared to then to now is also night and day. So it's just, again, grateful blessings. Who would have thought that getting some titanium and plastic put in my body would be one of the best decisions I've ever made. Yeah, it's crazy, guys. If you have, it's the whole analogy of the frog in water, and then if you slowly heat the water, the frog doesn't jump out and will actually boil to death. But if you drop it in the boiling water, it will jump back out and survive. And that analogy applies perfectly to my hips, is that over basically 15 to 20 years, they just slowly got worse and worse and worse. Ooh, look at that majestic beast. Look, we're gonna walk around, it's not even gonna move. Oh, the shadow is what scared it. It probably wouldn't have moved unless the shadow was cast, or if the shadow wasn't cast on it. But that's what happened to me. I didn't know how bad it was, because it happened over so many years that was my normal. That was my normal. And now to have a new normal, it was just like, it was nuts. When I finally started getting my mobility and just seeing how much more range of motion. I had so much flexibility that I purely lost through impingement. Like, the best thing, guys, I can hug myself. I can bring my knees to my chest. I can hold myself. And one of the biggest symptoms that I was facing with my hips was that it gave me this like claustrophobia within my own body, because I couldn't manipulate, I couldn't move, I couldn't get around. Like if I sat down, I'd have to like stick my legs out, flip into like a plank position, and then push myself up. Like I couldn't even sit down. It was like literal claustrophobia within my own body. And I'll tell you, it's amazing now. Just amazing. But it was just, I had no idea until I felt better. I had no idea how bad I was. Same thing with, I had a back surgery back in 2013 because I broke my back when I was 9 years old, and it's caused some long-lasting issues. And I needed it corrected about, well, in 2013. I broke it back way when I was young, like 1996-ish time, 97 when I broke it. And because I have this weird high pain tolerance and the nature of back pain and my nature of not expressing myself, I didn't know it was broken until I was 15. So from 9 to 15, I didn't know that I had healed improperly a broken back because I just didn't complain about it. in just before I left for my final years in college, I got those 2 vertebrae that broke, I got them fixed. Basically, they enlarged the foramen, or the openings in the bone, to allow more room for nerves and things to flow through, because there was no room and it was causing sciatic pain and things. And it was guys, I can't describe it, really. I can't truly describe how insane it was. But I literally fell asleep with sciatic pain all down my back, with all these aches and pains. And yes, okay, when I came out of surgery, I was on some medication, but the moment I woke up, it was gone. And I was able to, within about a minute of coming out of anesthesia, walk without any pain. And it was instant healing. The Western medicine can be absolutely spectacular. I went and I got my undergraduate degree in pre-medicine, specifically something called pre-integrative health, which not only looks into Western medical approaches to discomfort and disease, but also combines that with Eastern Ayurveda preventative care. Basically, it's considered a more well-rounded approach where not only are you but assisting yourself with preventative measures, but then if you need these interventions like that Western medicine is so good at, you can integrate that in too, because, you know, that's the answer, is combining all the knowledge together and utilizing it where you can. But I am much more on the preventative side, eating healthy, exercising, monitoring your mental and physical. Oh, look at that. Someone was doing some work down here. But, which has been absolutely necessary because of my condition. If I don't exercise, like, that is literally a preventative measure for me, an intervention. Now, it is for everyone, right? It's putting money in the bank now so that you don't have to lump sum it later on, right? Small installments now or lump sum, you will pay for your health at some point. And yeah, you might have to pay for both, you know. The world can be a fickle place. And sometimes, even if you do all the right things, unforeseen circumstances will lead to unforeseen outcomes. And but, you know, you got to do as much as you can and at least limit the possibility of those outcomes becoming the dominant one. And so I would call it fortunate in the fact that if I didn't exercise, I literally couldn't exist, to the point where my joints would have deteriorated to the point where I couldn't walk right now. I'd be in a wheelchair. I'd be an invalid, basically, if not for regular routine maintenance. And because I had that extra need, that's just really driven me to become as fit and as healthy as possible, with all things considered. Because I'm gonna have a hell of a time in my later years, and I'm accepting that more and more. Like, by the time if I make it into my 60s and beyond, my body is not gonna be in a good place. Now, there's plenty of years for medical advancements for that, but it's just a kind of a fact. Because of my condition, it's just what's gonna happen. And I need to I can push that off much longer through this type of activity. And so let's do it, let's go. But this applies to everyone, guys. Like, it's just, the joys. There is so much joy in being fit, in being healthy, in being able to walk upstairs, in being, without losing your breath, in being able to, I don't know, maybe if I ever have kids one day, being able to play with my kids without being tired. You know, just things like that. Those are the things I think about a lot. Those are the types of things I think a lot of us could benefit from also thinking about a lot. Okay guys, here we go. We have, this is some uphill. This is the last stretch. This is the final uphill that takes us up to that, the finish of the loop where I told you the loop started, up that uphill. This is a gnarly section. This is a gnarly section. But, you know, my hope with this content and these videos is that I light the fire for people who need that initial spark. Because I'll tell you, I've needed that so many times. And it's community, it's other people that help me with that. And I know that if that's what helps me, there must be so many other people out there that would help them. Just something to light that initial spark, cross that activation energy threshold, and let out the power, let out everything. That's what I want to do. I want to find people who need what I've needed. Not one overheat, guys. I think we're gonna do it. I hate to do this, especially this close to the end, but I think we found it. Even at 5.3K. Look at that. Very steep. We're already like 20 feet above the switchback. A couple more switchbacks, then we make it to the top. This has been such a therapeutic time. Oh, beautiful. Oh, wind, the sun on the skin activating that vitamin D. Our society has a chronic vitamin D deficiency due to lifestyles. And it is a big assisting factor in anxiety and depression to have low vitamin D levels, as well as dehydration. If you combined proper hydration with proper levels of vitamin D, I think a lot of people would benefit mentally and physically from it. I think this hyper view is going to come in so clutch. I think the super view for biking is the play, but I think hyper view for hiking. Maybe I'll try a hyper view bike ride. But then I think it would just give you handlebars and aero bars and wheel. I don't think it would actually give you much more environment, because the way it is now, it's perfectly framed within the cockpit of my bike, and you just barely see, and only when the stabilization isn't heavily kicking in, you'll see the bars and things. I'm excited to mess with this file. I'm hoping it's a little smaller because it appears to be a little more efficient on the memory card than the 4K 60 version that I've been trialing. Because this shows that I get just over 4 hours, whereas with 4K 60 in my modes, I get just under 4 hours. This does tell me for longer events, I'm gonna have to get a 512 so that I can have up to 8 hours. Because yes, guys, I do rides like that. I'm weird. My favorite type is ultra. Hello again.
Pretty good. So you came up this way. How? Oh, you went down. You were going along Terrace Road, and then you went down that real steep area, right?
Yeah, you can go to the right.
Yeah.
I went to the left, and that's the Redwood Canyon
Oh, did
loop.
you go? Did you go there?
I went through the Redwood Canyon, yes, sir.
Well, how'd you go about these flotation? You can't, those little bridges.
I had to rock hop
Oh.
2 or 3 times, I think, in order to get across.
Was it kind of tough?
Manageable.
What about your puppy?
He fell in. It was funny. I got it on camera
I
too.
can
It's
see.
great.
He looks at, oh, hi. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
He's a little
Yeah, he's
jumpy.
He's a little wet.
Yeah.
So you just jumped across rocks. Were those on the side somewhere?
Yeah. I would say so. The first 2 crossings, the first one, someone put down an old fallen tree branch, and it's a bit gnarly, but it's very safe and sturdy if you're, sound on your feet. The second one was very easy, very, very simple rocks. The third one, you can kind of sneak through this oak tree because they laid some planks down, but it's a little like there's a lot of brambles and things. And then the rocks are a bit more
So it's a little
loose.
touchy, huh?
But I would say it's very doable for most people.
And then you cross the 2 bridges.
Yes, yeah. And then
here-
it comes right back up here.
And here you are now. Because we didn't want to go down this steep area here.
Yeah, that's a pretty steep
But
trail.
you went down, did you go to the end to all the redwoods? It's beautiful.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I didn't do the little dead end out and
Oh,
back,
okay.
but I did do I stopped at the bench there
Yeah,
before
that
looping
bench
down.
right there, yeah.
Yeah,
But we didn't want to go down this steep area.
yeah.
So you went that because it said, when you come in, it says these aren't out there for you to jump across. And I thought, we can't do that.
They definitely aren't, but even if you're willing to wade, you might only get up about ankle high or a little higher than ankle through there.
We're not willing.
Not willing. Well, yeah. I think it's doable, but I would, by your own discretion.
Have you been here before?
Yeah. I live just in town, so
Okay.
I'm regularly up here.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
What about you guys? You live locally?
We're in Carmel Woods.
Oh, right on.
Carmel. But we've been here one time before, and we went down this way, and we went the whole deal, but that was like 5 years ago, and there was very little water, and they had the little bridges there.
I would give it no more than a week before they put them back in. I mean, they're already doing work down along the trail.
Really?
I saw some shovels, and the seasonal bridge was already set back up there. It just hasn't been laid across the river yet. So maybe within the next week you might see it be perfectly
I guess I
passable
could
again.
call and ask, are there bridges up there?
Yeah,
Temporary bridges.
yeah, probably. But yeah,
Pretty nice flowers down there by the steps.
Good call.
You're going crazy. Huh?
it was a good call. I can get my dog sometimes to pose for me. So I had him sit on one of the steps and I photographed him with the little flowers around.
Oh,
But how do you do it with it being windy? How do you, can you snap it without it being blurry because of the wind?
Yeah, what you do is
Just a fast shutter speed?
yeah, fast shutters,
speed?
exactly. Yes, that's exactly what you do. You just set a faster shutter speed to try and freeze the action a little bit.
But what's that thing blinking?
Oh, this is a little video camera. I record my hikes along the trails, and then I overlay my photos that I take onto the video for posterity.
do you flood? Are you using this for magazines or anything like that?
This is just for my own personal
Oh,
thing.
really?
I do media professionally,
Oh, okay.
but it's also my passion, photography, videography. So I'm always shooting things and
Wow.
taking pictures.
Have you ever seen the flowers like this before?
It's on another level right now.
Because of the rain. huh?
Yeah, and as well as east of Carmel Valley Village, along Carmel Valley Road, like out towards Cahoon Grade, Tassajara. Just the hillsides are just blanketed
Really?
right now. Yeah.
Have you been to Toro?
I haven't been over to Toro
Toro
yet.
Park.
How's that?
If you go to Toro Park, you know where the windmill is?
Mm-hmm.
If you take that trail and then you start taking some steps up, it's called Myers, M-Y-E-R-S, Myers Trail or something. It's just to the right. Skinny trail like this. This is a little too skinny for us because we're in our 80s and it's a little touchy.
Big, yeah.
But up there they have nice wildflowers,
Really?
just like here.
I'll have to go out that
We were
way.
there like 2 weeks ago. You go up to the windmill, you along that Pescara or whatever it's called, I forget what it's called, and then Myers. It's just, you take some steps up there. It's a skinny trail, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of, the only problem is that so many bicyclists have been on that narrow trail that there's ruts right in the center there, and it's a little tough, but you're a young kid. You know?
Just watch your step a little bit, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go out that way. It's now that it's the season, I'm enjoying now that the seasonal bridges are back in right now, but this is kind of like the start of my hiking season.
Seasonal bridges where?
That cross from down near Dampier Park, the Little League field on Paso Hondo.
Oh yeah, yeah, down
There's
here.
a couple seasonal bridges there, and that's where I park, is down at at Dampier.
Oh, so you go along that, yeah,
And-
just park down just off of Peronda.
Yep, yeah, on
But
East Garces.
I know what you mean. There's
Yep.
a base. Oh, I haven't been down. I just seen it on the map.
Yep. Yeah, that's another parking area, and now that the bridges are back in, you can cross there.
Here, Joy, hang on a second.
And so that's nice if you want to like peruse along the river trail a little further and
Like
take
here.
the loop back.
So you're kind of somewhere along here.
Yep, exactly.
So
yeah.
you park here,
Yep, and then there's a
and you go this.
bridge that way, or you can kind of hike this direction. There's another bridge, and then you can kind of do a little loop along that part of the trail.
Yeah, this stuff's a little too tough. for
Yeah,
us.
yeah, that's tough, but you can stay at least along the green, which is the river trail right there.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. And that's okay, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And then also, this is Los Helechos over here, which is another access point.
Mhm.
But now that the seasonal bridges are in, I don't go that way. I just go down to Dampier Park.
Have you been up to Hitchcock Canyon Road?
Not in a few years. I did run into a park ranger who said that it's looking really nice right
And
now.
that Fern Falls is up there. It's that 20-foot
Uh-huh.
fall. We were up there like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
And that
Sneaking
was-
through into that.
And
Yeah.
that was neat because it's the fall. I mean, it was really coming down, and that's a nice hike up there.
Oh yeah. And it's cool because there's all the little newts in the water and like all the creatures through there, and it feels very
You saw
exclusive.
that, Newt, remember?
You did, huh?
But you have to get a permit. to get in.
Yeah, it's a daily permit because they only allow, I think, 10 people in a day. But unless it's a holiday weekend, I don't think they rarely hit that cap. So usually it's like, if you're looking to go the next day and you submit the night before, you're usually good to
Yeah,
go up there.
Yeah, we've done that. I went up there one time without a permit, and luckily I didn't. No one was around, and nothing happened to me. We went up there one time, and it said the trail was closed, and I went through it, and the ranger was up there with some prison.
Oh yeah, the hand crews and everything. Yeah.
Because they're a trail, so he scolded us and says, no.
Yeah, they're very. They try to keep the hikers away from the hand crews for sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Where are you guys headed though for the rest of the day?
back to our car.
Yeah. Well, you're nearly to the home stretch. The only thing to worry about is this steep section right here. Isn't that pretty rough, isn't it?
Well, it was funny because we sat down here to just kind of rest, and I saw the sign. I went, let's see, Garza Road. I know that's that red thing. I don't want to do that. So I said, we take this, and I saw it said Garza Creek, and I was thinking, well, we're supposed to take this. And I got down there, and I was thinking, the trail looks a little funny.
Yeah.
Once we got down, and then I heard the river, and I went, we went the wrong way.
Yeah. Oh, so you went down this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We went down that.
Whew.
But
And we
it's
didn't-
beautiful, beautiful.
And we'd been down there before. We ate in the same spot, but because it has a little red spot there, because of the switchback. You know, we're not comfortable with red areas.
Mhm.
But here we are. And I kidded. I said, "Yeah, we want to go that way." And my wife said, "No, we want to go that way." And I looked. And I went, "Yeah, you're right. That way."
It's this way. Yep. It's misleading because of this little uphill into the blind corner. You're like, oh, that must just go back up into the mountains.
I can see where he's drying off. So he fell in, huh? I bet
He straight
got
up
out of there.
fell in.
I bet wasn't it kind of cold, the water?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's pretty chilly right now.
He's
Luckily,
probably-
he doesn't mind water, but it was a big. You could tell he was very surprised because he was like,
probably
oh,
What's his name?
buddy,
Buddy.
buddy.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Buddy.
Good boy, buddy.
You got a picture taken today, huh?
Yeah, he's a great little model.
Well, that's good. Well, nice talking with you, and you take care.
Yeah, you too as well. Enjoy the downhill.
Yeah, just
Again.
slow and easy.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. It's hard to not be in a good mood out here. It is very hard not to be in a good mood when you're up here. They were just having a great time. Ah, such nice people. I love running into people who are active. They were in their, guys, they're in their 80s. These are not easy trails. They're both in their 80s and they're up here. If that doesn't show you what's possible, I don't know what does, guys. There is no saving you. It is hopeless. No, just kidding, it's never hopeless. But I was joking, this is the section I was talking about. We already came up it, so you know, but this is about 25, I think, to 27% at its steepest going down this. So it's gnarly. These shoes I have are very overly worn. I don't replace my shoes as often as I should. These are the New Balance Minimus, and what's left of the Vibram sole. It's more like a Vibram Slick. So this is a tree where the camera died last time again, and I had to stop. This was the most frustrating because you don't want to stop going down this. But it's looking like we're not going to overheat, because we even stopped for a bit and the camera feels cool. That was good. We stopped in the shade too. Good, we just got ahead of another hiker. I'm trying to like ninja walk a little bit for the camera's sake. What I need, and maybe not for the hiking, but it just reminded me, I need a product, and this isn't made yet, so somebody please take my idea and make money off of it so that I can get one. I'll use the example, Quadlock. Quadlock is a company that creates they have a phone case that attaches to a locking system that can attach to a bicycle, it can attach to anything, but it's a locking system for your phone. And so like if you're on a bike ride, you can have your phone on your handlebars, but they make this one where it's a combo for a GoPro, where on the top you have the mount for the phone, but on the bottom you have a mount for the GoPro, which is great and something I would be interested in. But they also make this product that's basically a little vibration dampening plate. It's like two plates with grommets in between, and it basically takes away all of the micro jitter, which the micro jitter is what kills the sharpness of the GoPro. Good, we're staying ahead of him. He had trekking poles, so I was worried because you can go downhill very fast with trekking poles. Trekking poles are a great tool and actually make hiking not just easier, but it unlocks distance. You can hike much further with trekking poles because of the distribution of weight and muscle activation. So they're usually faster. Hi. But anyway, sorry, back to the product. I need them to combine those two things. I need them to combine the vibration plate with the multi-mount. And I messaged Quadlock already. I was like, steal my idea. Take my idea, make this for me. But I really want that because I really want to leave my GoPro attached to the bike when I'm on an outdoor ride, because I can't put it on my chest because I'm constantly dropping into aero onto my drop bars or my aero bars in general. Oh, let's get some privacy for him. Sorry, he's a bit shy.
Yeah, you fine.
Have a good one. I wish he would be a little less shy like that, but at least he doesn't seem, you know, violent or dangerous. Because he's not. Like I said, he's just expressive. Very expressive dog. Vocalizes a lot, has a lot of body language. It's actually very cool because you can really communicate really well with him and you can read what he's thinking. It's just very, very good. I feel like he's a very communicative dog when you learn his language. More so than some, maybe. Not as much as maybe all, but more so than some. But yeah, Quad Lock, if you're listening, you know, because everyone's watching this video, all 16 of you, make me that product, please. What would also be cool is to have a little Z-axis stabilizer, basically up down, like a really small one. Like there's this bike company that creates suspension seat posts and suspension handlebar necks, bar necks and things. I'm trying to think, oh man, I just was at the booth this last Sea Otter Classic, not a couple months ago. Anyway, it's very compact and it basically is just this little compressing device that goes on your seat post to help absorb some of the bumps. But that mounted to the chesty right here, and then the chesty mounted to that, and that mounted to the camera. Just a little bit of up down bounce, especially also to take care of the bouncing from my stepping. All these ideas. All these ideas. They make Z-axis stabilizers for cameras, but I don't think they make any ultra light ones for like a GoPro. I think that would be a little difficult because they function best with a little bit of weight, you know, applied to them. But the vibration dampener, that is an idea. It's a niche idea. It's not like many people are recording their bike rides like that. But, you know, I think a lot of people might get an action camera, and this was me. So this is me, so that's why I'm assuming more people are like this. You get it because you're like, wow, this is all the things I could do. And then you get it and you're holding it and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? I'm boring as hell. What am I gonna need an action camera for? Literally. I was like, this is ridiculous. Did I just purchase the stupidest thing ever? Like what? I'm not jumping off 50-foot dirt jumps or skydiving every weekend. Like what the heck am I doing? And now this is my most used camera because it's inspired me to do something different, to get out of my box. Like I'm already doing these types of things. Why not bring people along with me? I am a big consumer of long form content, multiple hour content, where it's just ambiance. It's just background. Like if you tune out for a bit or you're not watching, you're not missing anything, but then you can tune back in and just be like, ooh, or just use it in general for white noise or, you know, your background noise. That's what I do. And you know, these nature sounds are pretty darn nice. And that's another reason I'm really happy that I have the raw audio, because the depth you capture, the compressed audio from the main stereo mic is still pretty good. And you put them next to each other, like, I'm sure most people wouldn't mind the difference. But again, where it really comes in super clutch is when you actually have to push things, you know, add an isolator or process the dialogue at all. Then it's amazing. Guys, the slider, the audio voice isolation in DaVinci Resolve now, the beta, is mind-boggling. Is it still in beta? It might not even still be in beta. I rock the beta version, so I don't know. It might Might not be in beta anymore, but oh my God. A single slider, 0 to 100, and you can tune just the perfect amount of background noise. It's a lot like NVIDIA Broadcast, but with a much more fine slider. The slider is much finer. You can get just the perfect balance. And then you throw on their AI dialogue processor. There is this moment in a video, you guys are gonna have to go back because it'll probably launch before this video, to the Cahoon Summit bike ride with friends. There was a time when the two guys I was riding with 3 people, but 2 of the front guys, they ended up moving away from me and the other guy up this hill because I was hanging with my buddy. He's just now getting back into bicycling after graduating from the fire academy. So he's not trying to smash climbs right now. So I was hanging back, but the dialogue, the people are rolling away, but the dialogue it's like they're mic'd, guys. They get probably 30 feet up the road before the audio isn't able to capture their voice anymore, the processor, and boost it. And then all of a sudden they like cut out. It was so cool. I was like, this is amazing. It was like they had a lavalier on for about 15 feet before they finally got out of that range where the amplification and the AI could deal with it. I was blown away. And it is something you want to do as like a last step to your workflow though, because I slapped it on right away to my timeline when I was just learning how to use it, and it did slow everything down a lot. And it also added some weirdness in the audio because it was processing AI, it was processing it in real time, it wasn't rendered. And so like you'd push play and there'd be no audio. You'd have to pause it and push play again quickly, but you still have to do it. And then sometimes one channel would pop in. Then you have to play pause again, and then both channels would be there, and then they disappear again. It was a bit weird, but it worked well enough that you could figure out what was going on. And it was not a problem. It's just you gotta adapt and put it in the proper order of your workflow. But another fun thing is, because I got my watch here, I'm gonna hopefully be able to overlay the metrics from this walk. Speed, distance, elevation. I did do on the test run video, I did basically get it nearly fully produced before I realized it wasn't the best video. So I had already processed the overlay, I had already processed the mini map, but I noticed that the elevation is very not accurate and slow to respond, which makes sense because you're moving slowly, and especially through like trees and stuff like this, the GPS signal isn't the best. So it can be a bit spotty in the elevation gain. But overall, it's on. It's just, it averages out in the end basically to pretty on point. But at any given moment, like especially if you have like a short steep section, you might have trouble registering it. I wonder if Garmin like not just maps the GPS points, but also takes into account like the trail systems to begin with, and kind of knows like, okay, this trail does this kind of climbing, and oh look, his GPS took him along this trail, so we can kind of, you know, assume that he's getting the same elevation as everybody else who's done this trail. I don't know if I don't know if the data's processed like that though. Yeah, the clickbait for this video is definitely going to be finding a secret redwood forest. Another thing you can do with this camera that's very cool, and actually it makes it kind of, actually because of this feature I could shoot this way on the bike because it has what's called reframing. So basically if you shoot at the widest, you can then choose the other digital lenses and crop in. And especially if you're shooting 5.3K, those crop ins will still allow you, for the most part, to stay at 4K. And I think that's why they did it, is so you shoot in 4K, or you shoot in 5.3K, and then you can reframe after the fact. You can choose which lens. You could go to linear. You could go linear horizon leveling, which the horizon leveling in GoPro is the best, because you can literally turn the camera all the way 360 degrees and it'll stay level. I don't think any other camera can do that unless you have a 360 camera. And then you have to have that. And I debated that. Probably would have been a better idea to get the GoPro Max. But if I get a second action camera, which I'm very much thinking about because I have ideas that require 2 that I'm very interested in. So as soon as I get another payout from a job, I might do that. It's might either be the Max. It's either going to be the Mini or the Max. I haven't decided yet if I want to get into it. The trees are talking. Do you hear that? I hope you can hear. I hope you can hear that. The trees talk in this little area all the time. This is a little special area. The trees are constantly talking. You know, it took having a camera and talking to myself, aka you all, to give me a fresh appreciation for the beauty that this area is. And I'm just so grateful. Like, the stops we've made for like the coolest things, like back there, like trees are, they're like, oh God, it's so cool. And then that garter snake getting that newt. Wow. Those blue butterflies like all around our feet. Man. You know, I hope you can take a little bit of this with you into the rest of your day, and or the rest of the week, or the rest of the month, or the rest of your life. And just try and maybe think about the things that you might take for granted around you, and realize, like, you know, blessings are more of a state of mind than a physical thing. Oh, I haven't stopped up here yet. I gotta give you guys a little story right here. This tree is a very special tree. This tree is hollow right here. This hole right here goes in, and it is it must be, of course I've never been in there, but that is a big open area. The reason I know that is because maybe 5 or 6 years back, I was in my backyard, just chilling, and all of a sudden I hear what sounds like a plane coming, or more like I don't know, more like a motorcycle. It had that like whine. Turns out it was a swarm of bees, and they flew right over my head, and it sounded like a freight train when they flew over my head. It was so loud. Come to find out, they nested in that tree back there. They were swarming like that because they were moving nests, which I guess is a thing. And instead of the park kicking them out, they just put up barriers and said, hey, don't mess with the bees. This is a native honeybee species. Just keep back. And for a lot of people wouldn't even walk through this trail because of that. They just literally put up two sign markers, like caution signs. That's all they did. But for about, I think they were there for 2 seasons. They were definitely there for one. I think they were there for 2 seasons. The second season, they just weren't as active. So the hive must have either moved or not survived long term. But the first season, I think I might have pictures somewhere because I definitely photographed it. But they were all up in that tree and you could get right up on it. And it was really cool because you could see the dynamics of like the worker bees and the military bees. There were these bees that would just patrol the outside. And when I got close, you could tell they were alerting because they do these like vibration things. They like shake their butt weird, like the wiggle dance, but it was like more of like a emergency alarm vibration. And, but as long as you didn't mess with them, they didn't mess with you. You could still get right up on it. But it was really, really cool to see an active honey beehive out in the wild, like a wild nest. There's a lot of nesting critters all along here. And actually, this is the time of year where you don't get to see some of the ones that might be more of a sketchy thing, because just off in these green bushes, especially along here, there are tons of wood rat nests, and you can only see them when it's like the winter time and all of the green is faded away for the season. After that point, they just are very, very stark up against the trees. You see these big piles of wood. I mean, impressively large piles of wood, considering these rats are maybe about that big. They're big. I mean, they're not small rats, but it's still impressive. Are we still recording? No way. No way, guys. This is it. This is it. It's official. It is official. I am a GoPro fan. I don't want to, so my biggest problem with the GoPro when it overheated is like, it's becoming normalized. That's becoming normal to have cameras overheat in their native settings. And I don't want that to be normalized. I refuse to let that be normalized. And if this GoPro was kept overheating, I would consider it less of a camera. Because yes, it has these settings, but can you actually use them? It's basically like the cripple hammer of Canon, literally making their cameras overheat, their cheaper cameras overheat, so that instead you buy their nicer cameras, even though they're literally, those cheaper cameras would be fine if not for the evil Canon software they put in it to make it not function as well as it should. They literally overheat their cameras on purpose because they don't want to kill off their cinema cameras. It's like, you know, someday you just have to accept that the technology's gotten to the point where a camera can do everything. There's no photo camera or video camera. You can have a camera that does it all, you know, in a form factor that's functional. And with like Sony's overheating, with Canon's overheating, with GoPro's overheating, I just think it's messed up. That should not be normalized. Like, we shouldn't be okay with that as consumers and media producers. That should not be okay. That's my only negative rant of today, but I only say it because that is not what's actually happening. Now I can record for multiple hours in the highest resolutions without overheating. Because this is the same conditions it was the other day when it was overheating. It overheated 3 times in 3 hours. With the first time being like an hour and a half in, almost hour 45 in, but still. This is what I'm shooting. This is my content. This is what I choose to do, so I need a camera that actually can do it. And it did. No internal battery, just plugged into a battery bank. All right, and we're nearly back. And we're back, boys and girls. These are the seasonal bridges. Tilt the camera turn this way for a second. Oh, pardon me. Thank you. Hello again. What was that?
Did you see the nest at all?
They're not there anymore, I don't think. They must have moved on.
But you had fun looking.
Oh man, yeah. I got some good photos. There was this very interesting, a little rough, but a garter snake got a newt right by the riverbank, and so I spent a little time photographing that. A little bit of that wild nature, you know.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's real.
So garter snake and a newt, so he's just like, oh.
Yep, just sitting there with the newt in his mouth. Yep, literally.
Slowly.
Yeah, just doing his thing. I wasn't bothering him too much at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's
My
like,
dad.
I mean,
I like to hang out with him.
out in the bay, you heard, I'm sure, about the 30 orca pack, where there's usually 9 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
30 in the whole
Yeah.
event.
And they're living here now, right? Too. Like they're actually staying here like full time.
Yeah.
They like moved in.
Because that's where I spend my time on the water. There was like a 200 raft of sea otters.
Oh, that was good.
That was
That was
like the
nice.
hugest sea lions I've ever seen. So things are just like happy.
You're being very
Right?
good.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm okay with that. I mean,
It's great.
I think I'm okay with that. Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Let nature win.
Oh, did you have a nice walk? It's like, yeah, it's
He had-
super kibbles.
Yeah. Oh, he had a great time. He fell in one time. It was hilarious. I got it on video too, so I'm really excited to go back and see. He was walking along the rocks and he just slipped right in.
Oh, buddy. I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, he doesn't like it. I was laughing at him. He was not amused.
A little put out.
Exactly. But yeah.
He's such a good dog. It's crazy.
Oh, thank you. I think so too.
Just like hangs out right by you.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
Yeah, he's been trained to be able to be called off a dead sprint too. Like he loves cats, he loves squirrels,
Yeah.
but I don't like him to just bolt after them. So luckily
He's just really well trained.
I'd like, yeah, definitely. Very well trained.
Wow, so you train your dog.
Did you have a nice walk?
But he's very much a one-person kind of dog, as you can kind of see how he's
Totally,
very,
yeah. Healers are
yeah,
very one person.
Yep.
And like a little, you know, and it's nice too, because they're kind of like not that into other dogs or like anything. Really.
Yep, yeah.
Just into you.
They just, yep, he'll just walk right along the trails, and he actually prefers the mellow dogs more that don't like keep following him around, because he'll do a quick sniff and move on.
Totally. They're
So,
working.
yeah, exactly.
Working all day.
Such a working dog, very true. Well, have a good one. Nice to see you again. She was kind of cute, chat. She was kind of cute. Should have asked for her number. Said, hey, next day you're coming down, hit me up. All right, and we're back though. This is the parking lot. Had a great time, and I'm so happy it worked out. I'm really looking forward to going and processing this now. So, guys, thanks for hanging out. Do all the things, you know. What is it? What is the YouTube? It's comment, subscribe, like, ring the bell, and give me all of your inheritance. You know, give up your firstborn child and all that, or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, have a great one. I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.